What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? Welcome to today's podcast. I am your host, Bradley or Juice, and this is the Juices Loose English Podcast, episode 9. So, guys, before we get into this podcast today, I want to read a quick comment or a quick review that Monika left me. She's one of my students from Poland, and she says, "Thank you, Bradley, for these podcasts. I really appreciate these audios as it is a nice way to listen and drive on my way to work. Makes them, oh, she says, make them longer, please." Okay. Thank you, Monika, for that review. I really appreciate it. And yes, I will try to make them a little bit longer. So someone else also did mention that I should make them a little bit longer. So I'll see what I can do. All right. But thank you for the review. I appreciate it. So yeah, guys, welcome back to the podcast, episode number 9. I don't know if I introduced the pod already, but welcome to episode number 9. How are you guys doing? I'm not doing too well because on if you guys listen to episode 8, you know that I was talking a lot of crap about America, saying that America's going to win. We're going to beat Wales by so many goals, but it was a tie at the end. So, but yeah, a lot of you guys were sending me photos or posts of the score of United States tying with Wales. And yeah, that's not funny, guys. So stop doing that. Stop sending me photos. I appreciate it if you guys stop making fun of me and bullying me, okay? So let me kind of give you guys my theory on why America sucks in soccer, right? Um, when we grow up in America, soccer is like the last sport that we choose. So we rather choose American football, baseball, basketball for sure. And soccer is literally the last sport we want to play. It's because that in America, American football is you make the most money playing America. Like you don't make a lot of money playing soccer. So I think America's like built on money. Like we want to make money. That's the whole objective of like I feel like being American. We want to make the most money as we can. So soccer doesn't make a lot of, yes, you can make money playing soccer, but you're making more money playing baseball as opposed to soccer. You're making more money playing basketball as opposed to soccer. Because in America, we don't watch soccer like that. We don't really care for it. And I think that's the reason why soccer is on the back it's at the back seat of American sports. For example, during the World Cup, it got 1 billion views. Like 1 billion people are watching the World Cup right now, as opposed to the Super Bowl, which is 114 million people. You see, it's 114 million people versus 1 billion people. So more people, it's an overwhelmingly amount of people watching the World Cup as opposed to the Super Bowl. And of course, right, we only watch the Super Bowl in America, and people watch the Super Bowl in other countries, but they preferred to watch the halftime show. Uh, Powell, one of my students in Spain, he told me that he only watches the Super Bowl for the halftime show. Everybody only watches it for the halftime show, so nobody cares for the game. So 1 billion people are watching the World Cup as opposed to 114 million people watching the Super Bowl. So you see that number? It's crazy, right? But catch this: the FIFA generate the FIFA the organization, they generate $7 billion in revenue. And in American football, they generate $17 billion in revenue. So 7 billion, FIFA makes 7 billion in revenue, and American football makes 17.10 billion dollars in revenue. So even though people are watching more soccer, American football generates more money than the FIFA organization, which is crazy to me. So I think that's the reason why Americans prefer to play American football, obviously. And I don't know, it's just it's more action in American football. Like I think as a culture, Americans are quite complex. So as opposed to just playing soccer, which is a simple sport, and and I think it has to do with also the economic background. So in America, people have a little bit more money than other countries, so we can afford to play like American football. It costs a lot of money to play. Like the equipment that you see them wearing, it costs a lot of money to equip them. So I think that's the reason why people prefer American football in America as opposed to soccer. But there's something to keep in mind that American football is more dangerous than soccer. So a lot more parents are letting their children play soccer nowadays than American football. For example, my little cousin, he doesn't play American football. He only plays soccer. So it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic and the evolution of soccer in America because I think more children are playing soccer now as opposed to American football. And yeah, that's just my thought process on why America doesn't really care so much about soccer. But yeah, so today, what we're going to talk about is we're going to learn some business communication idioms that we have. So the first idiom I want to teach you guys is learn the ropes. So if someone is learning the ropes, they're learning the basics of the profession and they're learning specific tasks or activities of the profession. So I can say it took her a long time to learn the ropes, but now she's confident as a marketing specialist. So in the beginning, she didn't understand what she was doing, what she needed to do, but she learned the ropes. So anything that you want to learn, not just business or profession, anything that you want to learn and you're learning from the beginning, you can say I'm learning the ropes, or I need to learn the ropes, or yeah. So that's what we use a lot in business English. So remember that learn the ropes means to learn about the basics and understand the basic concepts of whatever you're learning. So when I moved to New York after college, Jonathan, who was my manager at the time, he taught me the ropes and he was really nice in showing me the way and how I can improve my career as a new grad. He taught me everything that I needed to know and he was really kind. So I think it's very important whenever you're learning the ropes to have somebody who is patient and who can understand, your thought process because at the beginning, we're always learning the ropes. When we first start our job, we have to learn the ropes. They ask you for experience, but somebody has to teach us the ropes, right? So think about the person that taught you the ropes whenever you started your career. For me, that was Jonathan, and I always want to thank Jonathan for kind of like grooming me in the beginning to teach me uh, the stuff and the skills that I needed to do to improve in my career. And I know Jonathan was not listening because he's not. I don't even know where Jonathan is, but thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it. Next idiom is touch base. And touch base is simple. It just means to contact someone. So I will finish that project, and after I'm finished, I will touch base with you later in the week. So after I finish the project, I will contact the person. And it's really simple. If you hear touch base, just means to contact. So I can say, hey guys, let's touch base next week to see where you guys are with your idiom practice. And I'll touch base with you guys to see if you guys are studying your vocabulary. Or when was the last time you touched base with your boss about your salary increase? A lot of you guys need more money and y'all want to talk to your boss. Also, I want to know in your country or in your culture, is it common to always ask your boss for a salary increase? Because some people are shy to ask for a salary increase. But I have a student from Poland. She tells me that every week, or not every week, but every year or every quarter, I forgot. So every so often, she asks her boss for a pay raise. And I think that's cool because other cultures, you don't really ask your boss for a pay raise. Everybody deserves a pay raise, I think. If you're growing in the company and you're helping the company grow and you bring in value to the company, you should be able to ask for a pay raise. Do you guys do that in your culture? I'm just curious to know. You guys can let me know in the comments or let me know if you guys have class with me to see, is it common to ask for a pay raise? I'm curious. So the next idiom we have is in a nutshell. So in a nutshell means to summarize something in as few words as possible, right? The less you speak, the better. So tell me in a nutshell, what was the meeting about? I missed the meeting, so can you tell me in a nutshell? In a nutshell, man, we just talked about how we can grow in the next quarter. So you don't have to tell everything about what you guys did in the meeting, but tell me in a nutshell. Be very specific. Summarize it with the less words, less words. This week's meeting was, in a nutshell, extremely productive and informative. I could say, can you tell me in a nutshell, how was your weekend? Oh, it was good. I went to Bariloche in Argentina. And then if I want to know more, I can say, hey, tell me more. But in a nutshell, tell me what the hell you did. All right. Next idiom is up in the air. And up in the air is when things are uncertain and you don't know what decision to make. So it's up in the air because you don't know. Me and my friends plan on going to Aruba next week, but it's up in the air because they haven't paid for their Airbnb. What the hell are they doing? Like, so I don't know whether we're going to go together or if I'm going alone. Or I'm planning on extending my contract, but I haven't heard back from the boss. So it's up in the air whether I'm going to continue working at this company or not. So when stuff is vague, vocabulary word, review your vocab. What does vague mean? When the stuff is unclear, instead of saying it's unclear, or instead of saying it's vague, say it's up in the air as well. All right? Capiche is a slang that we use in the United States. And since in America we have a lot of Italian Americans, so this is a slang. It's actually a word in, like I said, in Italian, which is capisco. And for my Italian listeners, capisco means I understand. So we say capiche, and it means understand. Do you understand what I'm saying? Capiche? And this next idiom is for everybody, but it's specifically for one of my students in Portugal. Well, she's Brazilian, but Beatriz. So this is going the extra mile. So when you go the extra mile, you do more than what the people expect you to do. So in America, usually for customer service, people go the extra mile in trying to give you the best service because they want a tip, probably. But you do more than what is expected. You don't need to, do extra stuff. You can just do the basics in most countries or most places. You just do the basic. Like you go to work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then after that, fuck off, right? But if you go the extra mile, you can probably start working at 6 a.m. and work all through the day, maybe until 10 p.m. And you're going the extra mile. I mean, that's excessive, but you have to go the extra mile like Beatrice if you want to raise. So go the extra mile. It sounds easy, right? So do more than is expected of you. When was the last time you went the extra mile at work? And I think maybe when you go the extra mile, it kind of depends on whether you like your job or not. Because usually you're not going the extra mile if you don't like your job. Like you just want to do the bare minimum. You just want to do the least amount of work. I mean, the minimal effort, right? So what do you guys think about this? Do you think that you can go the extra mile doing something that you don't really like to do? Because for me, I'm going the extra mile in doing these, podcasts for you guys because I think I like it. Well, I'm trying to make myself like it, so we'll see how I like it. But yeah, go the extra mile is something that I kind of live by. Like, I'm gonna give you another example. Going to the gym, I go to the gym, or at least I try to go to the gym every day, and I try to go the extra mile in my efforts at, when I do cardio or I do a rep. I try to do more than what I say in my mind that I can do. So let's say I need to do 10 repetitions of bench press. So I can do maybe 12 just because I feel like I can do a little bit more. So trying to go the extra mile, putting a little bit more effort in what you're doing. And yeah, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that you can go the extra mile doing what you don't like to do? All right, guys. So nice chatting with you guys for the day. I think I'm going to cut it short right here. Cut it short means to end something. I'm going to cut it short. So nice chatting with you guys. You have an amazing rest of your week, and I'm going to catch you guys on the next episode. This was episode 9. See you next time. Peace.